Hi friends, it's Ashley from Ashley's Paper Heart, and today we're going to be doing another travel journal with me in my traveler's notebook. So in this insert that I'm using, I have been doing a lot of spreads for little like day trips or activities that we do that are kind of like outside of our normal everyday life. Obviously, because of COVID, we can't do a whole lot of traveling right now, but I do want to celebrate the like special like moments and trips and activities that we do um, as a family. So I really enjoyed kind of like playing tourist in our own city. So in this spread, I am going to be documenting our trip to the aquarium in Long Beach. So I have to say, I love this aquarium. This was the second time that I had been. The first time that we went, it was right before my daughter was born, like I think literally the weekend before she was born. We went there, just my husband and I, and it was so much fun. They have such a good exhibit, and just like it's a pretty big aquarium, and I was just really impressed with the amount of like tanks that they had, all the different fish and other like creatures. They have otters and puffins and stingrays and sharks and penguins, and it's just really cool to see all that under one roof. And the whole area that the aquarium's in Long Beach is really cool too. I believe it's like called the Pike, and it's just a really cool area. It's right there on the I guess near the docks, near the piers. And so you can get a good view of the ocean and the boats out in the like pier area from the top of the parking garage. So, what made this trip really special to me was being able to take both of our kids with us to the aquarium. It was nice to be able to watch them get excited about all the fish and just be like, have their imaginations sparked by all these creatures that they, under other circumstances wouldn't be able to see. So I think it took us maybe like an hour and a half to get there with traffic. We ended up going on a Friday because one, the crowds were a little bit less, and then two, that's when we were actually able to get reservations for tickets. I believe right now, because of COVID, they are doing a reservation system for your tickets so that they only have a certain amount of visitors that can come in a day, and you have a specific time slot that you have to be there. I think within like a 15-minute window to be able to go in and see the aquarium. So the kids were pretty good on the way there, and when we got there, we didn't have to wait in line too long. We got there really close to our time, but we did make it on time. So when you first walk in, they have this giant, like, I guess, I don't know, plastic whale that is attached to the ceiling, and that really got my daughter super excited. And then at the end of the first main corridor, you see the giant tank that is from floor to ceiling, and it's like 2 stories high. And it is so impressive. And I think the kids kind of stood there and looked at all the fish and just in awe for at least 5 minutes. That's probably one of my favorite things to see there at the aquarium. We did go outside for a little bit, and when we first got there, just because it was a little bit crowded on the inside, and even though everyone's wearing masks, it made me just a little bit nervous. So we went to some of the outside exhibits. My son was, I don't know, decided that he was going to have kind of a grumpy day. So he was a little bit hard to handle while we were there. My husband did a lot of like the handling of my son so that I could kind of like enjoy it with my daughter. She was super excited. She was very well behaved. My son was just like grumpy. He didn't want to stay with us. He's been in that like mood to just want to like run off. And so we let them run around. They had this like little playground things set up outside with like a boat and some other like sea creature things that they can climb on. So we let them play there for a little while just to like decompress from the car ride and hopefully to like get my son to be a little bit happier. While we were outside, I also got to feed the lorikeets in the lorikeet exhibit. They had the little like cups of nectar and they like landed on my arms and drank the nectar. And it was probably one of the best things that I've ever done in my life because I love birds. The kids were like less impressed with the birds, but they both seemed pretty interested in watching. So, after checking out some of the outdoor exhibits, we went into some of the main exhibits on the inside. So, they have one that is specifically like California based, like fish, and then also they had one that was more like the tropical fish, the coral reef kind of thing. My daughter really, really loved the jellyfish, and I think my son did too. My son did the cutest thing. He was yelling Nemo at every single fish that he saw in the tank, and which basically meant he was yelling Nemo the entire time we were in the aquarium. It was really cute. Um, my daughter was super interested in the sharks that they had there. I believe they had like, the little like tiger sharks and stuff like that. Um, I was surprised my son actually was not like super into that, considering how much he like adores Baby Shark and talks about sharks all the time. He just like was not into it. My daughter also really loved the puffins and she loves seeing the tropical fish. And I think my son really enjoyed the tropical fish too. I think that's kind of where his day like turned around when he could see all the fish with all the pretty colors. So after getting done at the museum, we went across the street to Bubba Gump Shrimp. I actually really enjoyed that restaurant, and that was the second time that we had been there. The first time when we went to the aquarium, we had also gone there to eat. My son was really excited. He had popcorn shrimp for the very first time and he loved it. He was like stealing dipping sauces from my husband. It was the cutest thing. He was like trying everything, which never happens because he's incredibly picky with his food. My daughter had a good time too. They both were like completely mesmerized by Jello. I guess we don't really eat Jello, so it might have been like the first time that they've had Jello. But yeah, they both really liked it and were really like fascinated by like the texture and stuff. So after that, we just ended up going home, and both the kids fell asleep in the car, which was glorious. And all in all, it was a really good day. I think everyone had fun, and it was nice to spend time as a family. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.